We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Luke Musgrave, Green Bay Packers tight end, and I thought he was honestly one of the best rookie players throughout the whole weekend. He really stood out, and it was really fun to watch. Like, I thought his run blocking looked way better than expected. That was more of a weakness of his coming out of Oregon State, and then the pass game ability. You can see his play speed out there. His play speed is truly elite. The way he moves, super fluid in his hips too. I'm excited to see him really get unlocked in that area. He had some nice plays there, but you can just see once they start in volume, like digs, crossing routes, slants, getting him more involved like in those plays, he could be really good. I think the only area I thought he struggled in was tracking the football down the field. There's like two plays where he definitely looks a little bit off. We'll get to that later. But here, run blocking, he had some plays nice versus defensive ends. This guy tries to shoot inside, and he just sort of carries that momentum, attack that hip, that low side of the defensive lineman, use their own momentum against them. This is just a very good play because he's, down blocking here. They're leading out here with Rodgers pulling a guard through with some action here, lead, and he's just got to take this guy down the line of scrimmage. Look how he's able to displace that, get him out of the way. Very good work from Musgrave. He has like this size. I feel like he's just a really prototypical tight end, and if he can put all those tools together, like he could be really good in this league. And for a rookie tight end, most of them usually struggle early on, but he was one of the better players throughout that weekend. We're just going to go in order with these plays that I found from Musgrave to break down. Here you get to see him climb into the second level, kick out a linebacker. Nice to see him make a little adjustment there. I feel like his angle and aiming points get a little bit better, but he usually is pretty patient. You want to see, he clearly has the movement skills to get to that level, and then 53 tries to get outside of him, and he doesn't panic. You can good hand usage as well. His angle, probably he was like going down like he might try to combo there, but once he shoots the inside, he instantly just climbs to the second level. 53 really tries hard to get outside of him. He adjusts quickly, still stays square to him, and once 53 is about to cross his face, he just gets to the outside half, and you want to drive, carry him, use that momentum to give Jones a nice little lane to work off of, helping these things, seeing him versus the defensive end now, climbing to the second level on a linebacker, definitely improvements coming out of college. These things are very promising for his future. Then a couple plays later, he shows a very good block out in space versus a linebacker to seal him off. He makes the adjustment. He takes a better angle, and this time, when he's not able to just completely square the guy up and just wash him out, when he tries to get around him, he's just able to really attack the outside shoulder. Perfect aiming point to seal this off and help, hook this guy underneath. That's exactly what you want. He's got, good base, everything exactly bending like you want to, and he's able to sustain it long enough, not allowing the linebacker to stack and shed him. A lot of times, these types of tight ends will either, take a rough angle and not really get hands-on or just miss out in space, or once they do get hands, they'll kind of get bullied, but he shows off enough play strength there to get the job done. Here we see Musgrave's first catch of the game, just sitting down, soft spot versus zone. Nice to see him recognize, things going to be hot, people coming from his side, and he just wants to find the area that's open like this. So good football IQ, makes himself an easy target. You can see he's pretty fluid just getting into the ball, and he catches it with his hands and then is able to transition upfield pretty nicely. He moves just really well for his size. You'll see that later in the video. Like, he moved really well on a lot of routes where he wasn't getting targeted, and I feel like once he starts getting some targets on those routes where he's really allowed to beat some guys man to man, you're going to really see how talented he is as a receiver. We get to see like this short in motion from Musgrave lined up on the outside and just getting him this momentum on the snap. Like, you can just see the play speed. DBs are not ready for him. Like, his play speed is actually elite for a tight end. The acceleration, they're having a DB cover him here on the outside. He takes a slightly poor angle, gets caught up on this, and you can just see him accelerate past. DB tries to get hands on him, so he runs through contact while getting hold there. There probably should be a holding penalty because he tries to hook him, and he's falling over. If Love is looking this direction, he's wide open over the middle, just beats his guy very easily by just showing off how athletic he is. He wasn't even doing anything too crazy in the route stem, just athleticism and power to run through the contact like it was nothing. I really like plays like this. This just shows football intelligence and unselfish play styles. He just is the clear out versus this Tampa 2 look where the linebacker's carrying him and a too high coverage right here, and it creates this opening for the dig over the middle from this receiver. Musgrave just knows he doesn't waste any time. He just gets upfield immediately, and Bears are running cover 6, but to the bottom they're playing in a cover 2. So this guy tries to carry Musgrave deep. He sees that, and he just wants to create all that space and that play speed that he shows here to just try to accelerate, force the DB to really open up, and it just leaves all the room for his receiver. Bears kind of lose Musgrave on this target right here. It ends up being incompleted. Like, they're running cover 6, but the safety and DB get a little bit confused. Just miscommunication. And you can see the speed on the corner route to get there. Now, based on this leverage, I think what Love's reading here is just reading the leverage. He thinks, like, this is probably the route he's supposed to run, but reading the leverage of 9, he probably thinks he should, not take such a violent angle horizontally to the outside. Maybe, work a little more vertically on that. And you can see, ball's still overthrown. He's just a miscommunication between quarterback and tight end. But you can tell that his tracking definitely needs work, like how he's a little out of control there, losing the ball, not feeling very comfortably. Guys who are tracking footballs down the field comfortably are usually, not breaking their stride, especially when they're being overthrown like this. You could tell he just definitely mistimed that. So things that can be worked on is specifically those types of things, and just him and Love building more and more chemistry. Here to see Musgrave just kick out a defensive end, squaring him up, kick him out, makes the defensive end go to his knee. This is exactly what you want to see from your tight end. When he's getting like a one-on-one with a defensive end like this, just squaring him up, and he's just underneath, good leverage, gets low with his hands, tries to get up underneath him here. He's bending at the knees, squares him up, and he just turns. Hands could be a little, better placement. They're still a little wide, but he's still able to just kick this guy out, turn him like that. So if this, ended up getting bounced back, because Jones is sort of reading this, but if it had to get hit through here, it leaves him kind of with that safety, and he ends up, hitting a little bit late. But you can just see this kick out block and how much room Musgrave helps create. I really love the effect that Luke Musgrave is able to have on this play. Working down a 94 on this combo, and then still finding works the second level on a safety who's coming down. Like, it only gets a 0-yard gain, but you can tell the effect that he's having here. Working with the right tackle, getting in control, moving them down, and then still, once 94 gets taken out of this way, he's still able to get up and get to Brisker, just like with all that chaos happening. Not easy to see. Some other guy ends up becoming, winning his matchup, but you can see the effect that he can have, doing way better as a run blocker early on than I think people expected. And we're going to see Musgrave's big catch to end it off here. Last play that we're going to break down. Packers running the leak. He's leaking out of this to the opposite side. Love makes a really nice play. Again, with Musgrave's tracking, he was a little off balance there. Would like to see him a little more comfortable because this should be a touchdown. Love loses the ball too, which is a really impressive play to lose the ball. Stay composed. I really love his poise. I was a big fan of Jordan Love coming out of Utah State in that draft, and I'm excited to see him play and see what he ends up doing. He thought he looked pretty impressive in this game as well. But really like what I saw from Musgrave overall. Just got to work on those tracking abilities, but he looks super comfortable out there running routes. Want to see him really be unleashed there. Run blocking was way better than I was expecting, and him leaking out here, kind of, backpedaling to track it and then lose his balance. He does have strong hands. Like, he can catch the ball with his hands when they're there. Like, if it's to him, he's going to make that catch. He's just got to work on that downfield tracking ability overall, because that should be a touchdown for sure. Also, I get kind of securing it, making sure you don't lose this, but it is a big play. Nonetheless, want to see him really be unleashed on digs, crossing routes, slants, let him catch the ball, like, within, 10 yards and work after the catch with his speed. I feel like he could be such a threat for this offense. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.